Aquarius, July invites you to rewrite your story because your entire life shifts when you start to change the way you speak to yourself. All right, Aquarius, we are going to look at the general transits in the sky, and then I'll open up the chart for you and show you how your energy is going to unfold for the month. So starting off with Mercury hanging out in your 7th house all month long. And Mercury is the planet of intellect, communication, your mental focus. And here you're really focused in on your relationships. You might be communicating with new people and forming new relationships. And if you're already in really nice established relationships with your soulmate, husband, wife, best friend, maybe even a business partner, then you're focused in on deepening that connection, spending more time with those people, maybe planning some dates, times to hang out, and really just being a little bit more social with the people that are closest to you. But then on the 18th of the month, Mercury does retrograde. So Aquarius, something to be mindful of, because Mercury retrograde typically brings miscommunications, delays, some glitches with technology. And here in your 7th house, there is potential that there are some miscommunications with those closest to you. Now, Aquarius, remember here at Lindsay with Love, we do not fall victim to the astrology. We don't blame the astrology on our behavior. We understand that the astrology is an energetic potential in the sky. So if you know that from the 18th of July to August 11th, that there might be miscommunications in your relationships, then simply take extra time, make sure you're really clear, make sure you're not impulsively reacting, double check the text, double check the email, and just simply be aware of the potential that there might be some hangups and miscommunications. So what about love and money? Well, on the 4th of the month, Venus enters into your 5th house and stays all month long. And Venus, the energy of love and money in your 5th house of life's pleasures. What a beautiful energy. You are going to perhaps meet some new romantic interests at this time. Venus love energy in the house of romance. Maybe you're deciding on children or even making children, because Venus, the energy of love in the house of children. It's a time where you're more expressive, more creative, more focused on the beauty of life, maybe adding beauty to your home, to your office space, something like that. And it's a time where you want to express yourself more creatively and more openly from the heart space. From the perspective of money, this is the energy of you perhaps starting a side business, launching something in your business if you own one, because this 5th house does involve entrepreneurship as well. So it is a good time for you to either start to create some new products or send them out into the universe for others to buy and bring some money into you. But once again, it's also a time to just really be creative, because creativity is one of the greatest energies that is rewarded in this lifetime. You give value and creativity out to the world, Aquarius, and you receive abundance, and sometimes in the form of money in because of it. So you know what you're focused on, you know about your love and your money, but what are you actually going to be doing? Well, Aquarius, Mars is hanging out in your 8th house all month long. And Mars in the 8th house, you are very likely focused in on your own personal development. Maybe you're reading more self-help books. Maybe you're going to the gym more. Maybe you're meditating more, figuring out different ways to release fears and step into faith, build your confidence, build your personal empowerment, transcend to that next version of yourself, but not just transcend to that next version, but stay in that next version. Because when you go from one frequency to the next, there is an oscillation that happens between old you, new you, energetically speaking. And so with Mars here in the 8th, you're making the choice to stay in that new version of you. Now, if you're not interested in any of that, Aquarius, no worries. The 8th house also involves joint accounts and resources. So you might be managing yours and your partner's money, figuring out how to manage your investments better, looking at how to pay off your credit card debt faster, things of that nature. Aquarius, I discussed Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, entering into Cancer last month, where he will stay for an entire year. But if you missed that information or you want to revisit it, you can check out the description box below, and there is a link to Jupiter and Cancer for all signs video. And Aquarius, if we're just meeting for the first time, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to transform as many lives as possible by helping people build their awareness and understand their energy as a spiritual being and how to use their energy to manifest their best reality. So Aquarius, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this, and check out the description box below for all of my products and services. Now, July is quite an interesting month because we've got some outer planets that are shifting in the sky, which is going to cause a collective shift in our humanity, but also a shift for you individually. So we'll start off on the 5th of the month. Neptune retrogrades in your 3rd house. Now with Neptune direct, you kind of got some rose-colored glasses on and everything is happy-go-lucky. And when Neptune retrogrades, it's like the rose-colored glasses come off and you're kind of seeing everything like as it really is, like from a very like physical 3D matrix like, oh, this is a little bit harsher than I expected. Now, in this third house for you, this is the energy of your communication style. This is your neighborhood that you live in. This is your siblings. This is maybe your written word, sales, marketing, promoting, something along those lines. And then on the 13th of the month, Saturn also retrogrades in your third house. And now Saturn is bringing like structures. And so with this Neptune and Saturn retrograde, Aquarius, you're being asked to kind of bird's eye view it, take the rose-colored glasses off, and look at how you are communicating, look at what you are learning and studying. Focus on your mind and how you are thinking. Aquarius, have you been thinking a lot of negative thoughts lately? Have you been complaining about your life lately? Maybe you need to work on your mindset. It's a good time to start to release the negative programming, the negative beliefs that are holding you back from your reality. You might realize that the way you've been communicating, especially if you're in business or you have a job in sales or marketing, something along those lines, you might realize like you're coming across a certain type of way and you're like, whoa, like I didn't mean to be sounding that way or whatever. It's a powerful time to train your voice, Aquarius, and instead of talking out of your throat, which is a little bit more kind of like it's almost, I can barely even do it now, but I used to talk, hey guys, I'm Lindsay. So annoying. You can train yourself to speak kind of out of your heart chakra, Aquarius. Comes off much smoother, more beautiful, more authentic, and it's more magnetic. So all of those things are great things to be looking at this time. Now, one last thing I would say is it's a really powerful time to take stock, specifically mentally, right? Because if your thoughts and your speech are part of you creating your reality, Aquarius, then you can really quickly notice what you're thinking about yourself and how it's manifesting in your external reality. So say you have a negative thought about something and you have this negative thought, and because it's super negative, it's showing up in your reality and it is negative and you don't like it. Well, you could quickly realize like, oh, that's not what I'm trying to create. So you start to change that thought, you create a new belief, and now all of a sudden your external world is shifting. The other way you could kind of play with this is maybe you've been working on your energy. You've been filling your mind with positive thoughts. You've been filling yourself with positivity around who you are and your self-image and how you're showing up and how you're exuding your energy. And your reality has shifted some, but not fully exactly the way you desire. Well, then you could really quickly know what you need to work on from a self-image perspective to really, push that out to the universe and have it boomeranging back to you. And then on the 6th of the month, Uranus enters into Gemini for the first time in 84 years since 1941, and Uranus will stay in Gemini for the next 7 to 8 years. So once again, this is a huge collective shift for all of humanity, but also for you specifically, Aquarius. So let's start from a collective perspective. Uranus in the highest vibration is the planet of innovation, invention, technology, AI, ETs, otherworldly things, individuality, uniqueness, eccentricity. It's the energy of you raising your frequency so that you make a powerful impact on the world and you help individually make the world a brighter and better place. And with Uranus entering into Gemini, Gemini is the energy of our education systems. It's the energy of our intellect, our mind, our communication. And so from a collective perspective, I do think that we'll start to see the dismantling of education systems and rebuilding and innovating in a way that better serves more people, all people, rather than a select few people. It's an energy where I think more people are going to open their minds up to the idea that we are telepathic, that we can astral travel, that we can remote view. And it's not going to be like alternative anymore. It's going to be more mainstream. This is my prediction. And I also do believe that more people are going to start to work on reprogramming their subconscious mind. They're going to work on gratitude journaling, breaking through those limiting beliefs, maybe doing some past life regressions to understand what might have been holding them back and leave it in those past lifetimes. It's kind of how I see it playing out. Now for you specifically, Aquarius, this energy, this innovative and individualistic and authentic energy is happening in your 5th house of your life's pleasures, what brings you total joy and fulfillment. You might step into your greatest authenticity, totally reinvent yourself, completely reinvent your entire life. And that means you're meeting the perfect soulmate because you finally figure out exactly how you want to show up. And so you're attracting the right romantic partner. You could be deciding on children or not. But when I look at it from the 5th house, it's like creativity, it's self-expression. You are finally ready to be the truest, most divine, high vibrational version of you. And you're not just ready to do that for yourself, but you're ready to showcase it to the world. And you might even have some really good ideas, Aquarius, around technology, innovation. Maybe you decide to become an astral traveler or remote viewer and you create entire businesses around this, because the fifth house does involve entrepreneurship as well. If you identify as an innovator or an inventor, you could have some really cool ideas coming to you in the next 7 to 8 years that could help the whole world. It's a time where you're unleashing your creativity. And Aquarius, we know if you hang out with me long enough, I'll teach you and I'll remind you that creativity is one of the greatest energies in this universe. It is very much rewarded. And so the more creative we are, the more abundance flows to us. Then on the 10th of the month, there is a full moon happening for you in your 12th house. And remember, full moons are typically endings, completions, something coming to fruition, culmination. It could be that you are seeing something for the first time, because a full moon is kind of like a flashlight shining a spotlight down on something that's hidden in the shadows. And with this energy in your 12th house, it's all about releasing something so that you can get closer to your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. The 12th house does involve like bad habits, addictions, past life issues. So you might be working on releasing anything to do with that, anything that's holding you back from your best life. And it's a time where you can really step into your faith, let go of the fear. You know that faith and fear are the same energy, just different polarities. So you decide to step into your 12th house of total faith and self-trust in yourself to truly create and manifest the life you've always dreamed of. And finally, Aquarius, on the 24th, there is a new moon happening in your 7th house. Now remember, this is the 7th house of relationships, so it's a really nice time to manifest that perfect partner, business partner, soulmate, best friend, whatever relationship you're looking for. This is a time to send it out to the universe and have the universe start working on delivering it to you. Now, one word of caution or advice here is that Mercury is retrograde also in your 7th house. So think it through, pencil it out. What does the perfect person look like for you? And allow yourself to erase and adjust if you need to, so that you can get the right information out to God, Source, Universe, Creator, so they can deliver the right people back to you. All right, Aquarius, let's dive in. I have you here. I have my computer here. I have my notes here. So we're going to be bopping back and forth, but I'll do my best to look at you and look at the camera as we go. So I'm going to bring your attention down to the right hand bottom corner of the screen, and you'll see I just circled in orange this calendar, and as I move this calendar along, the planets will move on the chart. So if you're ever wondering what dates I was just mentioning, you can look down there for reference. Okay, so starting off, and I should mention too, last month I went week by week because it was pretty conducive, like the planets were aspecting kind of week by week. However, this month aspects are longer, the transits are kind of different. So I'm going to do chronological order as best I can. So please bear with me and give me a little slack, because they're a little bit, not as conducive in the sky this month. Okay, so starting off, you've got Jupiter here in your 6th house, sextiling Mars here in Virgo in your 8th house. And this is big, bold action that's happening all month long for you, playing out in the background. So it's going to be a big, bold month of July. If you listened to the general transits earlier, which please do that, don't skip the general transits, because there's information that is important in those that I don't share here at this time with the chart. So please listen to both, the entire video. You're already here, so you might as well invest in yourself and really learn how to use the energy as best you can. But you've got this big, bold action taking place for you. And for you, it's going to go one of two ways. You are taking a lot of action to release yourself from fears, to step into your confidence, your personal power, all this high vibrational energy in the 8th house. You're uncovering deep-seated fears in your psyche, and you're like, I'm done with that. I'm going to become a better version of myself. So you're really focused in on personal development. And because you're so focused in on your personal development, your day-to-day life is totally expanding. Abundance is flowing to you in all the different ways, in your work, in every day as you're out and about, and even in your health. So you might be really focused in on like, I'm going to become a better version of me from a physical perspective, Mars, physical energy, personal development, 6th house of your health. So it could be that. I know I'm going to get annoying with all these arrows, but it helps me tell the story and keeps me kind of focused in on what I'm saying. It could be that you are very focused in on building out your joint accounts and resources. What do I mean by that? The 8th house, so let's take it back. The 2nd house is your money, and it's money you, Aquarius, earn based on the creativity and the value you put out to the world, right?
What you do brings you material resources and money. In the eighth house, on the opposite side of the chart, it is money as a tool that's working for you. So it's like investments, stocks, it's claim money, settlement money, alimony money, if that's what's happening in your world. It's your partner receiving a bonus or a raise, and now your joint accounts are rising together. So you're really focused in perhaps on joint resources and managing them and making them better and greater and all those things. And because you're focused on managing your money, because you are either the master of your money or it is the master of you and you're enslaved to it, but say you're focused in on building it, now all of a sudden you have a very abundant and expansive everyday life. Life is good. You're happy every day. You got the nice routine. You get to do what you want. You got the money you need to do what you want. It's that type of energy in the sky. So remember, Aquarius, that a sextile in the sky is positive energy. It's nice flowing energy. The door is open, but you've got to take action. So this Mars action energy is in the house of your personal development and you managing joint accounts and resources. Maybe you setting aside your ego desires, something that's a little bit maybe coined perhaps selfish, like I want this, and you know that by buying that or doing that, it's not going to help you and your partner expand and evolve the way you want. So you are mindful around your ego desires versus desires and focus for the good of both of you type of energy. Okay, moving on, July 1st, you've got Venus down here in your fourth house. Ooh, Venus in the fourth house, conjunct Uranus also in your fourth house. Now, I'm going to move the calendar along. Pay attention to Venus and Uranus down there if you're watching the screen. July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, they're still conjunct, really tight that day, very close together. On the 5th of the month, Venus enters into Gemini. Uranus is still in Taurus, but then on the 6th of the month, Uranus enters into Gemini as well. So you've got this conjunction in your fourth house, and then on the 6th, it enters into your fifth house. So let's talk about it. We'll go back to the first so we can really see it clearly. So Venus is the energy of love and money. Uranus is the energy of dismantling things that are not working for you so that you can build better, and not just for yourself, but for the greater good. So maybe you are, removing yourself from a love situation or a money situation, or you're reinventing that situation or innovating in that situation so you become better. It becomes better, whether it's love or money. This could also be quite expansive and like freeing type of energy. You don't want to be tied down to anything. Venus, the energy of love. Uranus, the energy of individuality, eccentricity, authenticity, uniqueness, your person. And so it might be that you're like, I'm trying to be free here. Now, in this energy of home and family, maybe you're like, family, like, I'm going to go do me. You're annoyed with your family. You're like, just like, let me be myself. Let me just do what I want to do. It's expansive, it's innovating, it's freeing. You could be expanding and building out your home, your real estate portfolio. Fourth house matters, your land. You could be buying more land, right? This is money matters too. So you could be investing money into your family to help your family expand in some way. So anything to do with your home and your family life around expansion, personal freedom, breaking out of like money systems and love systems that aren't working for you. So maybe you're setting some stronger boundaries with your family members to really like build up your own self-love and self-respect, perhaps something like that. Now, this could also be as far, and it could involve your mother because the fourth house is involves the mother, but it could also be as far as like you breaking some sort of like family generational trauma, curse, something, curse used very lightly, trauma, because you've got this energy of love and you've got like, I'm breaking the out of this system, this family tradition we've been stuck in that's not serving us. And I'm going to be the one to help heal my family and break us out of this energetic loop that we've been stuck in perhaps for generations. It could go that way as well. Then on the 6th of the month, we'll get rid of all of this. On the 6th of the month until the 10th of the month or so, you've got Venus and Uranus, this energy now in your fifth house. So it goes from your fourth house to your fifth house. And now, excuse me, a little tingle in my nose. Now it's all about your best life ever. The fifth house involves your fulfillment, your joy, your happiness, your creativity, your self-expression, what really makes your life the best life and the life that you love to live. And so here you might be letting go of a romantic partner that is not serving you and is not the right one for you. You might be deciding that you are going to stop shying away and unleash your creativity and totally express yourself, full of self-love, because you realize, Aquarius, that creativity is rewarded with abundance and money in this lifetime. And it could also be that the fifth house involves entrepreneurial pursuits. So it could be finally that you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm really going to put myself out there. I'm going to be super creative. I'm going to express myself, and I'm going to go for it and start my business at this time. So there's that. But we have to look at one more thing, which is this energy that I just discussed. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Trining Pluto in your first house. Okay, so you are ready to create your best life ever, one that fills you with joy and happiness and ease and optimism and creativity, and you're not afraid to be who you are and express yourself. And you choose to do that. You break out of your shell, so to speak, or you stop watering yourself down or whatever it is, and you transform your like I am. You transform your energy. This first house is your I am presence. It's your aura, it's your energy, it's how you show up in the world and how other people perceive you. So all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm ready to be myself. I'm ready to create my best life. I'm ready to really go for it, start my business, fully express myself, showcase my creative talents. And because of that, you are carving like an even better independent path for yourself. You are even more bold and courageous moving forward toward your best dream life. It's super exciting and it's super harmonious. So please tap in and use the energy to your advantage. Allow yourself to break free, right? So once again, that goes on until about the 10th of the month. So move the planets forward. And then on the 10th of the month, we've got Venus in Gemini. Ooh, I love this one. I love talking about it. It's my favorite aspect in astrology. Venus in Gemini down here, sextile Mercury. Now, you might ask and wonder, Lindsay, why is it your favorite aspect? And I will say, because I think this is my own thought. I've just kind of thought about it this month, actually, with these videos. I think this is the manifesting formula in astrology talk. Hear me out. To manifest, it's very simple. Your ego wants to complicate it. Your fears want to complicate it. People that write 100+ page books about it want to complicate it, but it's not complicated. The manifesting formula says your thoughts and your speech, Mercury, need to be in alignment with your emotions, which also need to be in alignment with the actions you're taking so you can manifest anything. That's it. 4 steps: thoughts, speech, emotions, and actions. This is my actions. I'm moving, right? Taking action, physically taking action. So you've got Mercury, thoughts and speech, you've got Venus, the emotions, and a sextile is the energy of the door is open, it's positive, the path is there, but you've got to take some steps onto the path. You've got to walk through the door, the action. So I think it's perfect manifesting formula. So tap in. It's in the sky until the 18th. I'll show you when we move the chart. I'll show you how the planets dance together in the sky. And then on the 18th, Mercury goes retrograde. So use this to your advantage for over a week of powerful manifesting energy. And for you, Aquarius, this energy is all about, once again, like romance, life's pleasures, loving your life, fully expressing yourself, and your relationships. Okay. So you might, it could go different ways. You might finally decide to exude tons of self-love, self-express, fill your life with joy, Venus, the energy of love and money in this 5th house, and you start to connect with the perfect soulmate, the perfect business partner. Venus, love and money in this house of entrepreneurship, the perfect business partner, Mercury in the house, communications of your relationships. So if you were to take action and you really start to decide like, okay, I'm going to live my best life. Manifesting starts with making a decision. Make the decision this month, Aquarius, that you are going to create your best life ever. This is what my romantic partners look like. This is what my children and my family look like if I decide to have children. If you already have children, this is the life that they're living and you're a supportive parent. This is how I'm going to express myself. This is the creativity I want to share with the world. These are my gifts. This is my creative talent. And maybe I march on to my entrepreneurial journey as well. But you make a decision about the best life ever. And because of it, you all of a sudden are connecting with people that are going to help you build the best life ever, right? I don't think we're meant to do life alone, Aquarius. Now, whether that means like soulmate energy, business partner, best friends, I just think that we're meant to share our lives with each other in community and in kind of harmony and peace and balance. So, but you can decide, this is what my best life looks like. And then all of a sudden it's like you're getting all the people, you're attracting all the right people to you. Super exciting. You could also receive good news from somebody you're already in a relationship with that helps you, get out of your shell a little bit, express yourself even a little bit more. You might receive news about somebody you're dating and they're like, I want to take it to the next level. You might receive news from your partner, something about children. Good news, good news, good news. It's positive, right? So there you have it. It could go many ways, but tap in and take a little bit of action. Talk to your partner, talk to your bestie, put yourself out there, decide that you're going to showcase your creativity. Showcasing creativity is a very vulnerable thing to do, but it's also courageous, which is why it's rewarded in this lifetime. And the fifth house is also a money house, right? Connected to your creativity and self-expression. If you can say, I'm going to express myself fully and be super creative, then boom, you're going to get rewarded. It's like me creating these videos. It's creativity. It's me putting and interpreting the energies together. It's me being bold and courageous enough to get on camera and share it with you, right? And the universe will reward me. I am already monetized on TikTok with 44,000 plus followers, and I will be monetized on YouTube. It's just simply a matter of divine timing and when it's my turn. So, and I'm going to keep going, by the way. I'm not going to give up on myself. So once again, this is going through, I wanted to show you how they dance in the sky. It's going through the 18th of the month. So keep your eye on the two circles, Mercury and Venus. And I'm going to move the chart 11, 12, 13 of July, 14 July, 15 July, 16, 17, 18. Mercury stops. On the 19th, Mercury starts to go backwards. Okay. Retrograde. So it appears that he's going backwards. So till the 18th, super powerful manifesting energy. Tap in, Aquarius. You can do it. Anybody can manifest. Just got to think positively and learn your energy. So Aquarius, if you want to learn your energy from me, I write 50+ page birth chart reports. And I will look at you in the highest vibration possible, which means you're going to learn everything that's so good about your life. I'm going to tell you some hangups that you might experience and how to transcend out of them and use it as like a superpower of your own. And if you really want to go for it, Aquarius, and you are ready to learn your energy, understand yourself at a spiritual level, and then confidently, with support of so many different women, march toward your dreams and your goals, then you may want to join the Cosmic Collective. It is the spiritual community I host. It's a transformative space. I will not let you fail at life. You will win if you spend time with me. So all that is in the description box below. Let's keep moving and grooving, shall we? We've got, once again, Venus. Venus is the star of July. Venus down here in your fifth house. And now you've got this square to Mars. Now, I'm called Lindsay with love for a reason, is because I am like perpetually optimistic. It's part of my birth chart energy. It's the energy I came into this lifetime with. But I also know that my thoughts and my speech create my reality. So there's really no point to complain or be negative. I will always find a silver lining out of everything. So I'm not going to doom and gloom you, Aquarius. If you listen to other astrologers, which you may, and that's your total right and prerogative, I say go for it. Hear all the different interpretations. They may say something negative about this because it's a square. They might say something about tension, frustration. Yes, maybe. Maybe you're feeling a little bit annoyed. Maybe you're a little bit frustrated. You're kind of over something. This is the energy of being like stuck in a rut a little bit. But if you were to be annoyed enough with yourself that you're stuck in this rut and you're a little bit frustrated just enough, wouldn't you be able to use that frustration to make a new choice and propel yourself and push yourself out of the rut, right? So I don't look at any of the squares or oppositions in the chart as difficulty or challenges. I view them as opportunities for you to grow and evolve and get one step closer toward your dream life. So if you like that positive outlook, then stay with me. And if you want to doom and gloom yourself, then maybe I'm not the right one for you. And that's your choice, right? We all have choices that we make in life. So with this energy here, it's kind of a stuck in the rut type of energy. It's hanging out in your fifth house of money and your eighth house of money. This is money that comes from your creativity and self-expression. This is money that is coming from investments of yours, settlement money, insurance money, alimony money, or your partner's bank account, like your partner's raise, promotion, job, something like that. If you're in business with your besties, like your joint account with your bestie. Okay, so you might feel a little bit stuck in a rut around money and you're getting a little pissed off about it and it's getting frustrating. And so you decide to do something about it. And what you're going to do about it is you're going to start to manage your money. You are either, Aquarius, the master of money or you are enslaved to it. There is no in between. So you've got to command your money and really start to learn how to manage it. Now, the other way this could play out is you feel stuck in a rut around like living your best life, fifth house energy, and like who you are. You're like, oh, like if only I was better. If only I wasn't afraid to share my creativity. If only I could just be this type of energy. If only I could be like this person, then I would have my best life ever. And that is total BS, Aquarius. That's not how it works. You develop yourself personally and face the fears, release yourself out of them, and then you get the best life ever. First, it's internal and then it's external. You create your self image internally and then you exude that self image out into the universe and then it boomerangs back to you and that's your reality, right? So you might feel a little bit frustrated around like, I really want to do this and I'm just like too nervous. There's these fears holding you back. But you get so pissed off that finally you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Literally, if you go for something you want, the worst that can happen is somebody says no and then it's like, okay, try again. Or like nobody sees that you even tried, right? And then you're like, okay, well, then I'll just try again because nobody saw it anyway. So try. And Aquarius, if you're really struggling and you want to join me, I promise you, I will change your energy, assuming you want my help and want to be an active participant. Like, I always say nobody can do your push-ups for you. Nobody can eliminate your fears for you, but I can help you cultivate your faith and your self-trust and your consistency and your determination and your discipline and your drive so that you do face your fears and then eliminate them. Because the one way to get rid of fears is to just do the damn thing. Everybody does something afraid. I do everything that I do that's new, I'm doing it afraid. And I know that the second I do it is the second that I release myself from the chains of fear, right? Okay, that's enough of that. We're going to fast forward all the way to July 24th, the new moon in the sky. Now, remember, I talked about the new moon already in the general part of the video at the very beginning of the video, but now I'm going to talk about it from a transit aspect perspective. You've got the new moon in the sky, across the sky from Pluto, new moon in your seventh house of relationships, across the sky from Pluto in your first house of you as an individual, your I am presence. So the way I'm seeing this is the new moon ripe for manifesting? Yes. Manifest a new relationship. Mercury's retrograde. So, take your time with some clarity around what those relationships look like, if that's what you're manifesting. But further than that, or kind of deeper than that, is the moon is your emotions and Pluto is transformation and evolution. And so, I mean, here maybe you're like lost in a relationship. You've kind of lost your identity a little bit. And you've got to reclaim your individuality so that you can march forward and really change your own life path and like be an independent person and carve your own way, right? I truly believe that people that have like the easiest path in life, they're really kind of unfulfilled because they haven't had to work for anything. They haven't had to carve their own independent path. And so maybe here you're meant to release some sort of emotion as it relates to relationships so that you can evolve and grow in your own in your own essence, in your own aura, and your own energy. So think about that. It's kind of a tug of war. How do I be myself? How do I act in relationships? How can I be myself and maintain these relationships? How can I change how I show up to attract the right relationships? It could go so many ways, okay? And that's on the 24th. But if you don't sit with that emotional energy on the 24th, like that's fine. You're going to get another chance because the moon moves on as it does, but the sun sticks around. So you've got from the 25th onward, the sun now across the sky from Pluto. So when I think about the moon, I think about your emotions. When I think about the sun, I'm thinking about how you're shining brightest in this lifetime. Are you really in your greatest authority, authentic energy, sharing what you want to share, creating what you want to create, following your heart as much as you can? And this push and pull kind of tug of war inside of you is around your relationships, the balance of your relationships versus your individuality. And I think through the end of the month, you're going to be playing with that idea of like, how do I attract the right relationships? Maybe you work on transforming your confidence, your I am presence. You change up your physical appearance. You change up how you enter a room. You change up how you project your voice. You change up how you stand and how you present. And because of that, you have more confidence to attract the partners that you want in. And when I say partners, I mean like boyfriend, girlfriend, soulmate, husband, wife, business partner, bestie, anyone that's like, I mean, like business partner, like I think about like, okay, it could be like the agent that you need. It could be the publisher you need, the video editor you need. Like it could be a bunch of different people, right? But it's those closer relationships. You're working with them one-on-one all the time or something. Okay, the last thing we need to discuss, Aquarius, is this Mercury retrograde Kazemi happening in your seventh house of relationships. Once again, it's all about your relationships this month, it seems. So in the midst of this Mercury retrograde that started on the 18th, which I talked about once again in the general transits, do yourself a solid and listen to the whole video because I'm giving you lots of information that's very useful for you becoming the best version of yourself and winning at every month. But if you didn't, Mercury retrogrades on the 18th and retrogrades through August 11th. But in the middle of this Mercury retrograde, in some beautiful, harmonious way, on the 31st of July, we get a Kazemi. And that is like when it appears from our vantage point that the planet is entering into the heart of the sun. And what happens is the energy gets super amplified by the sun, right? The sun is shining the brightest. It's like illuminating this planet. And for you, or for all of us, it's Mercury. So you have a moment, a day of super clarity in the midst of your brain fog around relationships. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. You're receiving news about a relationship. You've got a quick download about a relationship that you're like, oh, no wonder this is playing out the way it's playing, whatever, right? So the other thing I want you to be aware of, Aquarius, is that on March 24th of 2025, so a few months prior, we all had a Mercury Kazemi in Aries. So at the end of March, if you keep a journal or a diary or some sort of notes around your life, you might want to go back to March 24th and see if you got any like aha moments specifically about your mindset. Now, this third house is all about how you communicate, what you think about yourself. It's your intellect, it's your mind. So maybe you had like this aha moment, like, okay, I need to, stop talking so negatively to myself because if I hate myself, then I'm going to exude self-hate out and then I'm going to attract people that are mean to me and are kind of full of dislike for me and then it's going to be bad for my relationships. So maybe you had this like aha moment about like what you're thinking about yourself, what you say to yourself, what you say about relationships. I always see people on social media and they say something like there's no good man or woman out there anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, if you think there's not a single good man or woman left in the world and you keep saying that, guess what? You're going to attract not good men and women. Right? So you have to be really mindful. The words you speak have power. So maybe you had some aha moment here, and now you're having an aha moment in your house of relationships. All right, Aquarius, that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, subscribe, share.